Hey everyone, today I'm going to tell you all about the Twitter Revenue Share program. This is very similar to the Snapchat Spotlight Share program where they give a random amount of money to creators, and this is what's been happening on Twitter. A bunch of eligible creators have been receiving money from Twitter, from the organization themselves, just for giving good tweets that rile up the Twitter world. I'm going to teach you today how you can become eligible for this program, how much money you're likely to make, how you can earn more and maximize your money with this, and even more ways you can earn money with Twitter at the end that are actually more effective than using Twitter Revenue Share, because this is a very new and novel way of making money, and they're only handing out a relatively small amount given the large amount of people that use Twitter. I recommend you stick it through, watch the video, learn something new about Twitter Revenue Share, and then use at your discretion the advice that I give. How do you actually get in the Twitter Revenue Share program? First off, your account needs to be subscribed to Twitter Blue. This is the most notable thing about this method, because for the majority of you who are not subscribed, who are trying to save and earn money, this is not a completely free way to make money. So to make money, you're going to have to invest money with this. At the end, I'll give you a few different ways you can make money without Twitter Blue, but you won't be able to join the Twitter Revenue Share program unless you have Twitter Blue or you're important enough to be verified by the Twitter organization, okay? So that's the first thing. Make sure you're going to earn more than the amount a subscription to Twitter has. And I would recommend using other methods in conjunction with Twitter Revenue Share to earn that money. Next up, you need to get at least 5 million impressions from your tweets in the last month. Now that's actually quite a lot, but I'll tell you this. 5 million impressions is not 5 million clicks, it's not 5 million likes, it's not 5 million shares. Impressions are simply when someone scrolls past your content. Think about how many times you scroll past things. It's actually not that difficult to get 5 million impressions. I've gotten 5 million impressions on YouTube videos and on tweets and on LinkedIn posts in the past, so I'm sure you'll be able to do it even with relatively small accounts. Next, you need to have 500 followers. Now, you cannot game the system with this one, because I have seen multiple people who have followings from large bot nets, so they have maybe 1,000 bots following them, and then not many organic real people who did not pass the authentication. And I'll tell you why in a second, why they're so hardcore about that. Lastly, you need to be of 18 years of age, and this is simply because you need to be old enough to use their service called Stripe. And Stripe is what they use to authenticate that you're the person that owns the account, and it's the way that they actually pay you. They pay using Stripe. So if you don't know what Stripe is, just go and have a Google. Next, I want to quickly talk about the content review process, because I'm sure this is going to trip some of you up. First of all, you can't have a super new account. This is probably going to be a very important thing for some of you, because you're going to be watching this video and you're going to want to try this and realize that maybe you don't have an account, or you haven't started an account for the thing you want to earn money for yet. Well, most people are saying your account needs to be at least 3 months old. So if you have an idea, make one right now, even if you're not going to work on it. So make one right now, and maybe in a few months' time, then you'll start working on it. Or you'll start working on it beforehand to build up a big enough base so that when you get verified, you will have had your account around for long enough. The next important thing to say is that humans review this. It's not automatic. So for some of you, if you're doing something that's slightly dodgy, something that's slightly black hatty, you're using bots, or you're posting things that possibly are against Twitter's terms of service, that is not a good idea. Because when you get to the level where you want to start earning money and you've done all of these things to get eligibility, when they review your account, an actual human, an employee, is going to see what you're doing, and if they don't like it, they're going to ban you from the Twitter monetization. you're not going to be eligible if they don't like what you're doing. You need to be doing things that are nice, that are maybe wholesome, but are at least engaging, and that the Twitter as a company likes and is willing to support by giving you money. Because this isn't like a normal thing like a YouTube video where all YouTube creators at a certain point can start earning money. If you're getting paid by Twitter through this, you're special. And it's like Twitter is telling the public that they encourage your content. So if your content is really political in a way that is possibly offensive or goes against Twitter's public-facing image, they're probably not going to pay you, because you're like a brand ambassador when you're doing this. So think about that when you're making your scheme to join Twitter's revenue share program. Let's talk about earning potential. This is definitely the most controversial and complicated area because Twitter is not being transparent, and it's always annoying when companies don't tell you what they're doing, how much money they're giving, how much money you're likely to earn. It's annoying for us as small creators in particular because we don't know, how much effort we should be putting into this. But I'll tell you some of what I do know for a fact. Essentially, Twitter has a pool of money that they're comfortable giving to the community. In 2023, they publicly said this amount was $5 million, and I'm sure it'll be more this year. But they spread that $5 million, so that $5 million is already gone, and they spread it out to creators, and I know one really large creator got about, I think it was over $102,000, and one other Twitter creator got $24,000. And then the rest of that money, we pretty much don't know where the majority of it went. One of the annoying things is we don't know the metric or rationale behind how much they're paying. We don't know if they're paying you per view. We don't know if they're paying you because they like you. We don't know what methodology they're using. But essentially, I'll tell you what they have told and they have made public. They said that they pay users, quote unquote, from organic impressions of ads displayed in replies to content you post. However, with the reports of earnings that I said before, we don't know how their calculations work. So on YouTube, for example, a classic metric used to be $1 per 1,000 views. That could be an average amount. It changed all the time, but you knew that they at least had a methodology. They could be paying each creator a different amount per view, and we wouldn't know. They have not released anything publicly about that. So don't get your hopes up for clear answers in terms of earning potential at this point. But from what they've told us, we can actually figure out the logic in terms of how we can earn more money for Twitter. And I'm sure if you're giving Twitter more money by helping them display more advertisements, you in turn will be rewarded more through Twitter's monetization program. So the first and most important tactic is to get Twitter to like you. Create stuff that's unique in some way. Make it viral in some way and make people enjoy and continue using Twitter, because the main reason they're doing this is because of the concerns people have had with Twitter, and to get a big and vibrant community of creators that make high quality content for Twitter. That's the reason that they're doing it. And you can imagine with all of the scandals recently, especially with Twitter being bought and rebranded and renamed, they are much more sensitive about advertisements and about paying the right people. So make sure you're doing a good job. Next, make your content binge-worthy. Now, this is something that YouTubers know in particular because it's very important in the YouTube algorithm, but people don't recognize it's important in other websites' algorithms, just like Twitter's algorithm too. They track how much time you spend on accounts and on posts. So if you can make accounts that hold people's attention for a long time, they're much more likely to like you. If you can make content where they want to go through one post, they want to go on your account, and they want to go through the next and the next, you're much more likely to get on Twitter's good side, let's say, and then you're much more likely to join the program. Now, lastly, the most important and logical way to earn and maximize your earning is to generate conversation. And haven't seen anyone talking about this, but it is totally the truth, because they have said themselves that the money that you're getting paid comes from the ads in replies to your tweet. So it's in reply. Think about that. It's not just people looking at your tweet and going past it. They actually have to take the time to write something down, because you need to have a big reply list so that not only your content, but other people's replies, being new content, generate you money. So if someone makes an interesting response to your tweet, that response is going to get a lot of people looking at the replies, and the ads that are shown after people scroll past that interesting response is going to be generating you money. So that is a super important thing that I haven't seen people talking about, but it is essentially the way you will get the most money if you're part of this program. Now, lastly, I told you that I was going to talk about other ways to earn more money, and it's just the truth that this is a small pool of money. When we're talking about $5 million across all of the creators on Twitter, that's small. And there are other ways that you can earn money that is more lucrative, that is more consistent, that's just better. And it doesn't come from Twitter themselves. So first off, sponsored tweets. I'm sure you know about this. If you have a good enough standing on Twitter, if you're popular enough, many companies will start flocking to you to give sponsored posts. This can be in the form of an advertisement or a review or just mentioning a product. Now, if you're popular enough, you will of course be dealing with people that are trying to get sponsored tweets from you, but you may also want to directly approach brands and organizers for brands to get sponsored deals. If you have a large following, I personally recommend messaging individual people that are responsible for brands and not the brand themselves, because this is the way I've been able to network in the past. What you want to do is find out who is responsible on LinkedIn or on Twitter for managing and marketing and different things and promotions. And these people are usually mentioned by the brand in posts or mentioned in the replies to the brand, but are not actually the poster themselves. And those people are a lot easier to reach because they usually have a smaller following. So you're much more likely to get a response from them and find a way to get a sponsored tweet going. Next is affiliate marketing. This is essentially really easy, and anyone could do affiliate marketing. Even if you have no followers, you can do it. You might not get any money, but you can start now. And affiliate marketing is essentially the idea that you can link to a product or service or anything, and if someone clicks your link and spends money on that thing, then you will get a percentage of the money. Many places let you start with a zero following. I've done this for Amazon, and I think Amazon is one of the easiest ways to do it. If you're doing something like a book review or a product review or anything, if you put a link to Amazon and they click it after searching about what you've been talking about, you can get a percentage of the money. And the reason why this is super interesting with Amazon in particular is if, for example, you reference a book and they go and get the book and then they do their grocery shop from the week and they maybe get a vacuum cleaner or get a TV, you get a cut of the whole shop, not just the one item that they bought that you've affiliated with, that you've marketed. But if they click your link, there's something called a cookie in the browser that remembers that you sent them there, and at checkout, it gives you a cut. So I definitely recommend Amazon affiliate marketing in particular. Now, lastly, this is the most lucrative way to make money online, probably in general at all, which is selling your own digital products. So it's making something like a course. It's making a digital product and selling it. And the reason why it's so incredibly lucrative is it scales like nothing else. There's nothing else like digital goods that scale the way digital does. You can't make an object. You can't be a sculptor and sell your sculptures and continue to scale, because you will run out of the ability to make sculptures. You'll be too busy. But you can scale digital products infinitely, essentially. So it is the most lucrative way to make money online, essentially. So I hope all these things have helped you out. I hope you at least consider doing these, because these are some of the most classic, tried and tested ways to make money online. Some of the richest people in the world use these methods to make money online. And there's people that are good, that help people that do these things, and there are people that aren't, that do pyramid schemes. And I implore you to try and do the right thing. If you're making a digital product, maybe make something of value and sell it. If you know something, if you know how to skateboard really well, make a Udemy course on skating and sell that, and send a link to that on your Twitter. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that if you're trying to get into Twitter's monetization program, you get in. I hope that you find a way to make money that is easy for you, that lets you be profitable, and that lets you enjoy your life and do things that you want to do with your life, because our time here is short, and I hope you get to do what you want to do. All right, goodbye.